Hello. Good morning sa ating lahat. Good morning, Tatay.
Good morning, Sister Jet.
Naging sister mo na ako ngayon, ha? Good morning once again, mga katribo. Those who are in our Marriage Empowerment Toast page, good morning sa inyong lahat. Yung nasa loob ng private group natin, Marriage Empowerment Toast Group, good morning ulit sa inyong lahat. And for those who are watching us in YouTube, also, good morning po. Magandang umaga, magandang Tuesday morning sa inyong lahat.
Good morning to each and everyone.
So, Tatay, we are going to make the toast. So, morning sa inyong lahat. So, welcome to Marriage Empowerment Toast segment natin. And this is Nanay Jet. And we have
Money!
So, we have again, our 9 to 10 program on Marriage Empowerment Toast. And Tatay, maganda yung topic natin dahil mukhang bago na mukhang luma naman, no? So kasi hindi ito masyadong familiar or ginagawa dito sa Pinas, pero parang ginagawa na noon sa Oriental side, no? So sa Orient na parte ng mundo. But before we have to tackle on our topic this morning, webisode or episode number 20 na natin.
20.
So ang saya dahil nag-page 2 na tayo, hindi lang natin na malaya na magkasama tayo for 20 episodes already.
In Tagalog, 20.
20.
In Cebuano, kauhaan.
Oh, kauhaan. And then, yung unang episode that was way back February 2. And this time we are already in June. Oo. So nasa wedding month na tayo.
Wedding month.
So this is the month na maraming nagpapakasal. Sana nga dahil pandemic pa rin and natuloy yung mga ikakasal and then merong mga bagong kasal. And I think this is tiny yung topic natin on mindfulness dahil when you start your marriage, talagang mindful tayo usually sa marriage natin, sa relasyon natin. But along the way, nagwi-wither yan.
Yes.
Okay, so last episode natin, Tatay, yung tinatakel natin, yung binabahagi natin sa kanila, yung estilo ng bawat isa, lalo na if they want to fight a good fight. So, away yung pinag-uusapan natin. And actually, this is part of the solution now on how to fight a good fight.
Para bang sa ngayon, away ang uusapan ng lahat. Especially in these times of pandemic. Hopefully, huwag yan.
Okay, so we are here giving some inputs or insights on how we are going to fight a good fight. And this morning's episode po ay tutulong sa inyo kung paano ma-lessen yung away natin. So we may have a different style in solving problems, in influencing each other.
Of course,
in
different styles.
Reacting changes, at saka yung making decisions, we may differ. Pero eto yung dapat maintindihan at isa itong truth na dapat malaman ng bawat mag-asawa.
Ano ba yung truth?
Attitude affects actions.
Of course.
So ano yung attitude mo, maaapektuhan yung action na gagawin mo sa araw na yon.
Ano ba yung statement natin dyan? From your thoughts come
from your
words.
Thoughts, come from your goes, ano ba yan? Galing sa thoughts, pupunta sa words, then from the words, pupunta sa gawa or sa actions. So pag nega kasi yung attitude, equals nega behavior and words. Totoo ba yan? Naranasan nyo ba yan? Mga katribo, naranasan niyo ba yan? Good morning! I will make a guess dahil hindi natin nakikita yung name. Siguro si Sister Mildred dito, Sister Benneth, and Sister Day. Good morning, Mama Lu. Good morning sa inyong lahat. Pa-shout out naman kay Sis Aldila. And maagang nag-comment si Sir Peter, Tatay. So mayroong mga hobbies pala na nanonood sa atin.
Hello, guys!
Okay, so they are greeting us good morning. So good morning once again. And now we are looking into nega attitude equals nega behavior and words.
Let me interpret.
Yes.
So if the attitude is a positive attitude, the consequence would be a positive action. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
But if it is a negative attitude, then the consequence would be a negative action.
Yes.
And we both experience those things.
Sino ba naman hindi nakaka-experience
niyan? There were times when we were so negative in our attitude.
And usually, nakukuha to or nakikita natin pag we have some resentments, we have some galit, diba? Sino ba namang galit ka tapos positive yung attitude mo, diba? So, nega talaga yung attitude mo and yung blaming, yung parang lahat ng mga nega feelings, nega attitude.
Ang mundo natin ay maging negative.
Yes. So, but tatay, you also have to remind our viewers na yung we may not be able to control our environment.
Yes.
So, isa itong truth na kailangang tanggapin nating lahat na minsan hindi tayo in control sa nangyayari sa paligid natin. Like, for example, tatay, yung sickness, hindi naman natin in control lahat yan.
Yeah, that is correct. Pag nagta-traffic and nandun tayo in the midst of the traffic, wala tayong control dyan.
Yes, oo. And then yung alcoholic yung spouse ninyo. Yung mga anak ninyo, mayroon kayong teenager na in drugs. Yung iniwanan ka ng nanay mo.
Wala kang choice doon.
Yung papa mo, ina-abuse ka nung dalaga ka pa or nung bata ka pa. Or siguro, meron kang irresponsable na asawa.
One thing is common in those situations, in those circumstances, external to the person, meaning environment. You are not in control of your environment, right?
Yes. Okay. So, kaya minsan, paano ang maging attitude natin, lalo na pag hindi na tayo in control sa environment natin.
Yes, that's a very good point.
Kasi pag hindi na tayo in control, usually, yung ano natin, reaction natin, nagagalit tayo, nagre-resent tayo, nagbe-blame tayo ng, kasi yung tatay ko,
tayo.
Kaya yung attitude talaga nag-i-influence sa behavior natin.
Naging negative in short.
Oo. Okay. And although hindi ikaw yung naging dahilan kung bakit naging negative yung attitude mo, mayroong mga outside factors, but then, it will again affect your action.
You have all the inclination, like when you are in the midst of traffic, you have all the inclination to be angry.
Yes.
Right? To be having a negative attitude, embracing the negative
Lalo
attitude.
Na pag mainit sa daan.
Mainit sa daan, wala ka pang breakfast, nagmamadali ka for your work, late ka na.
Meron pang traffic,
you have all the inclination to embrace a negative attitude. Tama yun?
Normal naman yan.
Normal yan.
Hindi naman yan abnormal sa isang tao na ganun yung naging attitude niya. But then, merong solusyon. Merong antidote niyan.
May insights galing sa mga, experienced na mga tao.
Yes. So, even if you know sometimes na ganito nga, na you are not in control of your environment, minsan hindi mo talaga napipigilan na yung reaction mo ay magiging negative.
Yes.
So yung antidote natin dito is yung tinatawag natin na mindfulness.
Para bang poison yan na may antidote.
Talaga tatay. So nakakainis minsan na hindi natin na yung sarili natin, bakit nga ba nagalit ako kanina? Diba? Minsan natin hindi natin na-control yung attitude natin towards a certain situation. So, yung antidote, yung pwede natin gawin is yung tinatawag nila ng mga psychologists na mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Parang ngayon ko lang narinig yan.
Kasi ngayon lang siya sumikat eh. Ngayon lang siya sumikat.
Pero as a term, parang ngayon lang narinig, but people have been doing it, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Teka muna tatay, meron akong example pala na yung nega attitude equals nega behavior and words. Kasi minsan, nagtatanim yung nanay ko ng mangga. Eh, tsaka nega yung attitude ni tatay. Diba? Nega
Hindi ako
attitude,
yung tatay.
hindi ikaw,
Hindi
yung
ako
father
yun, no?
ko. Nagtatanim ng puno ng mangga, sabi, ay bakit ka ba nagtatanim? Yung nega yung attitude niya sa
Mangga,
pagtatanim.
puno pa ng mangga.
Oo. Sabi, bakit ka ba nagtatanim ng mangga? Malayo pa yan. Hindi pa tayo makakakain yan. Next year, maghihintay pa tayo ng 10 taon.
Pag malaki na yan, maging habitat yan ng kapre.
Oo. Tapos sasabihin, matanda na tayo, hindi na tayo makaabot sa bunga ng mga manggang yon.
Wala
So,
na yun. Sila lang makapag-benefit doon.
Oo. So, kaya nga, minsan, yung resentment ng mother ko nandun. Kasi, bakit ba niya ako pinahintong magtanim ng puno ng mangga? Kasi nega yung attitude on planting, no? On planting. So, naging, pati yung behavior niya, kasi yung attitude niya towards planting, hindi pala siya mahilig sa tanim. Kaya, hindi siya nag-a-appreciate kung merong nagtatanim. Lalo na yung nanay ko yung nagtatanim. So, very negative yung behavior at makakarinig ng mga negative words. So, yun nga, eto na yung gagawin nila kung merong ganitong sitwasyon sa buhay nila. So, first is when you are mindful, maging intentional ka.
Merong intent.
Oo, meron siyang intent. Bale,
ano ba yung intent?
Parang
deliberate.
Parang pinaplano mo talaga. Pinag-iisipan mo.
In short, may intent ka.
May intention ka. Okay. So, tapos consciousness.
Conscious.
Alam mo na ito yung nangyayari. Alam mo. So, being conscious na ganito yung nangyayari, nagkasakit yung ina, matanda na yung mga magulang, kasi yun yung mga hindi natin na-control. Irresponsible yung asawa ko, nagda-drugs yung anak ko, parang ganon. Talagang alam mo, you are conscious of what is going on in the environment.
Knowingly.
Yes, knowingly.
Willfully.
Yes.
Knowingly, willfully. And with full of freedom. May lingwahe yun ang ating Supreme Court noon in some cases. In one case, celebrated case. Sabi ng Supreme Court natin, intent, kasi yung intent hindi makita yan.
Abstract
kasi
yan eh.
Abstract, nandun sa isip mo yan. Intent is meaningless unless and until it ripens into overt acts. Memoryado yan. Kasi walang kabuluhan yung intent na yan.
Kung hindi ginagawa.
Overt acts, meaning makikitang gawa.
Okay.
Okay, overt acts. So, yung intent mo talaga, nandun yan pag nakikita ang gawa mo. That will reflect your intent.
Okay. And then when we say mindfulness, tatay, parang related ito sa commitment.
Yes.
Because intentional ka and very conscious ka na gagawin mo to, so dapat committed ka dito.
Because commitment is cognitive. As a component of love. Remember yung anatomy of love. You have the cognitive aspect, which is commitment. You have the emotional side of it, which is intimacy. You have the biological side of it, which is passion. So commitment to mindfulness. This is something this is related to cognitive aspect. But because it is something abstract, it becomes meaningful only when there are overt acts.
Yes. Okay. And then, in relation to mindfulness, eto yung sinasabi naman natin, yung sa classroom, yung tinatawag natin yung attention ng mga bata, na sinasabi, pay attention.
Galit pa ang teacher.
Oo.
Pay attention!
Could you please pay attention?
Please.
Kasi palang hindi nakikinig sa'yo pag wala yung attention sa'yo.
Pag hindi nakikinig, the door is wide open, you can go out.
Sa mga grade 1 teacher na yan natin. So, actually, being mindful means you pay attention to the situation.
Yes.
You pay attention to what is going on in the environment.
Especially with regards to conflicts, causes of conflict. Not paying attention to a cause of conflict will end up in a disaster. Right?
And then meron ding tinatawag, tatay, na pag mindful ka, meron ka talagang time alone.
Yes.
Spending time alone. Kasi hindi ka minsan nakapag-isip, meron ng conflict sa bahay, merong nag-aaway daw mga bata, or yung asawa mo, hindi na masyadong maganda yung mga naririnig mo. Then that's the time siguro na spend time alone muna.
Kasi kaya nga kaming mga lalaki, pag nag-spend time kami alone, papasok kami sa cave namin.
Ganon.
Kayo ay hindi kayo papasok, allergic kayo ng cave.
So mas magaling siguro yung mga lalaki on being mindful.
Kasi cognitive ang sa amin, rational.
Oo.
Rational
Kami nga
kami.
emotions. So kaya nga mayroon ding sinasabi na hindi kinokontrol dapat ng ano mo, yung emotions mo.
Yes.
Okay? And then kung mindful kasi yung mag-asawa, tatay, pag mayroong mindfulness sa pagsasama nila, this will result to a happy, healthy, holy relationship.
That would be great effects.
These are the great effects. And meron pa siyang mga benefits na pwede siguro nating matalakay sa araw na to, because this can be a series of discussion and mindfulness, ano. And then, one benefit siguro is better physical health.
Okay.
Okay. So, siguro, ma-relate mo to. So, you are a smoker before. And,
Yes,
chain smoker, at umiinom ka rin.
Umiinom ng paramihan.
Alcoholic talaga. Hindi naman alcoholic, pero
coffee.
Oo. So
coffee at saka yung alcohol talaga.
So that was before our marriage,
That
right?
was before,
And the early time of our marriage. Early part. So, pero naging mindful ka in a way na you want to stop smoking. Paano mo ginawa?
There was a time in a moment, serious na to. There was a time, a moment in my life na nag-iisa. That's why you said a while ago, time is being spent alone. Nag-iisa. Kasi there will come a time na yung addiction na yan, yung habit na yan, yung chain smoking na yan, saka yung inuman na yan, there will come a moment in time na mapagod ka talaga. Sa mga guys out there, experience natin to. Hindi tayo nagkakareer hanggang kamatayan dito. Okay? There will always be a time when we stop for a moment. Bakit ako magpapatuloy nito? Pagod na ako. But then addiction comes into play and it becomes so difficult to stop. Hindi natin kaya biglang mag-stop dito. But insofar as I was concerned, it took me 7 attempts to stop smoking. Because yung nicotine, nandun sa system natin yan. Addictive yan. In fact, our advice, may problema doon, to basically take muna nicotine for this thing, just to address moments of cravings. But it's really difficult because the system is infested with this thing. It took me 7 attempts. But on the 7th attempt, I became successful because of one thing. That is commitment. I really said to myself, this will be the last thing. I will commit. I have the commitment to stop. And mindfulness came into play because of marriage. I have to stop for the sake of my marriage, to give respect to my wife and to my family and to my marriage. That was the greatest argument I gave to myself to put an end to this addiction. It's difficult to end an addiction. Nicotine is addicting. Caffeine is addicting. Alcohol is addicting. Name these 3 I have.
But shopping is also addicting. Kasi yun yung mga addiction ng mga wives. Yung shopping minsan yung nagpapasaya. But then, being mindful na yung budget natin hindi na kaya nga minsan yung iba they incur a lot of debts and financial infidelity din sila, yung usual, kung meron mang sexual infidelity yung mga hobbies, meron namang financial infidelities yung mga wifeys. Hindi nasasabi na totoong nagasto nila kasi nga overspending na sila. So, to be able to stop this addiction, this habit, eto, kailangan talaga yung mindfulness and being intentional and being committed with the relationship.
And in addition, being mindful to my health, because during the times when I had this addiction, my health was deteriorating actually.
Oo. So kaya tatay, yung isang benefit pag mindful ka is better physical health.
Yes.
And longer life, of course.
Yes,
kasi
that is very correct. That's my experience. And guys out there, if you start to break this addiction, may hahabol yan. No? Para bang last habol na yan. Oh, this is very nice, this is very good. But if you persevere, because you are mindful of your health, you are mindful of your marriage, and if you continue 21 attempts, 21 times, it becomes a habit. And the taste of nicotine, the taste of alcohol, the taste of caffeine will no longer be that delicious.
So, kung sinabi ko shopping is addicting, tatay, may sinabi si Ma'am Bennett, eating is also addicting. Yes, Ma'am. So, marami talagang mga habits natin na minsan is no longer healthy to our physical health and also to our relationship.
Kasi addiction is not only limited to drugs.
Yes. And pag mindful tayo, better physical health, longer life, and another benefit niya is we can increase wealth.
Wealth in many aspects.
Yes, in many aspects. And literally, yung pera. Kasi pag nag-stop ka ng maninigarilyo, kung nag-stop ka ng uminom, ng alcohol, ng hard liquor, kung medyo meron ng konting discipline sa buhay mo, of course, you can divert the money that you use for cigarette and for alcohol to another thing. More productive.
Yung maliit na beer, no advertisement. Yung so expensive as compared today. But yung grande ngayon is 100 plus. Napaka-expensive ngayon.
Oo. So try to think na, yes, wala tayong pwedeng masave niyan kasi mapupunta lang sa beer at mapupunta lang sa Red Horse. Better mental health din, tatay. So if you are mindful, it can also give you better mental health and increase happiness. And another thing, satisfying sex. So kasi minsan pag mindful ka, let's say for example, those who took the assessment, alam na nila na wifey pala wants it to do it every day. Meron tayong mga sagot na gano'n, di ba? Every day, gusto ng mga wifey. Tapos, mayroong mga hobbies na gusto pala nila twice a week. And yung sa babae, once a month. So, parang gano'n yung
parang menstruation.
Lumabas sa, parang lumabas sa assessment nila. But then, if you are mindful of the needs of your partner, then you will have satisfying sex. And what else? Happier and more successful kids. Kasi nakikita ng mga bata eh. So, yung mindfulness talaga natin in our relationship, talagang nagre-ripple effect yan. Na meron lang, tayo lang dalawa, pero nakikita ng environment hanggang nai-influence natin sila at lumalaki yung influence natin sa kanila. And especially on being very positive in our outlook in life. Now, tatay, siguro, we are halfway of the hour already. So, siguro, yung pwede nating ibigay sa kanila is how to build mindful relationship habits. Ito na ang action talaga. Na yung attitude mo is towards mindfulness na. And equals action. So, talagang how to build mindful relationship habits. Number one, tata, is focus only on relationship habits.
Relationship habits.
Yes, focus only on relationship habits. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Katulad natin, yung habit mo or ko na umiinom ng tea at coffee.
Sa akin yung tea.
Sa inyo yung tea at sa akin yung coffee.
Yan ang natitirang addiction ko ngayon.
Oo. So, which means we focus yung nandyan na, yung relationship habit natin na establish na natin. And what we do is, we are going to improve that and being mindful na etong tao ito umiinom ng tea. Etong tao ito umiinom ng coffee.
Kaya nga, pag naubos na yung tea ko, ay punta ka naman.
Nakikita mo agad, swipey na, wala na siyang tea. So, pupunta akong SM,
maghanap sa kong brand.
Maghanap sa iyong brand. And then, ako naman, pag nakikita mong nagko-computer na ako, anong ginagawa mo, di ba? Ginagawa mo ako ng coffee ka ba? Parang ganun. So, you are already mindful kasi alam mo na yon yung habit ng hobby mo or ng wifey
It's
mo.
your habit converted into a relationship.
Yes.
And that is what is known as intimacy. Habits related to intimacy.
Another relationship habit siguro dati, yung nakikita natin sa mga friends dati, nagbabiking sila. Diba? Nagbabiking sila tuwing umaga, early in the morning kasi gusto na nilang magka-healthy living and the exercise na pwede nilang gawin mag-asawa is biking. And tapos sumasama yung 4 na anak nila. So, eto yung mga bagay na andyan na, alam natin na andyan na, kaya nga lang hindi tayo naging mindful noon. So, yung mindfulness pala is when you start to focus on your relationship habits.
Para ba yung shared activity ng dalawa? Ng family.
Ginagawa mo lang habit dahil naging consistent ka.
Yes.
Hindi lang today ginagawa mo, the following day wala na, next week ulit, at tapos nalimutan mo na naman.
Sino ba sa wife at saka sa hubby yung guilty nga?
Wifey. Kasi yung ang daming iniisip.
Kaya mo ba yung biking?
Hindi. Hindi ako marunong mag-bike. Hindi nga ako marunong
mag-bike.
So, talagang pag-isipan nyo at try to discover, no? Meron tayong nadidiscover na bakit yung mag-nobyo pa lang tayo, ang galing nating mag-discover. Pero pag mag-asawa na, hindi na natin discover kung ano yung gusto.
Ang basic na shared activities, ang mag-nobyo pa tayo is walking.
Yes.
Together.
Okay. Episode ko yan eh. So, next is commit to one habit for 30 days.
30 days.
Maraming mga psychologists ang sabi, let's do it 21 days, 66 days, 90 days. Reality is, it will vary from person to person.
Yes.
Okay, that's reality. But the minimum, parang practice mo lang talaga yan, na parang nai-internalize mo na yung habit na yan, is 21 to 30 days.
Fast learner yan.
So naging fast learner. So, sabi ni Ma'am Bennett, I'm taking notes. Okay, I am taking down notes. Salamat po, Ma'am, and we are really happy if merong intentional, merong mindfulness sa mga pinagsasabi namin ni Tatay. So, commit to one habit for 30 days.
Yes.
And another thing is anchor your mindful practices to established habits. Bale, yun na yung established habits natin, i-anchor mo yan. Diyan ka muna, huwag kang magpalit-palit.
Magpalipat-lipat.
Palipat-lipat.
Ano habit na yan?
So, minsan, yung sinasabi ko, ngayon, coffee making at saka tea making, tapos iba na naman sa susunod na araw, tapos iba na naman, journaling na naman yung habit niya, yung parang palipat-lipat para yung walang consistency. Okay? And then, pick a time for your relationship habits. So, you have to mamili ka. Let's say, for example, etong ginagawa namin, this is how many episodes already? 20. Isa na lang yung kulang para maging habit siya.
Parang papunta na tayo dyan. Parang habit na to. Nagsimula na yung bound threshold natin for becoming a habit.
Yes, kasi nami-miss mo na yung Tuesday morning, 9 to 10, na hindi tayo nag-appear live sa mga katibo natin.
Fix na natin ang time. 9 o'clock, excited ka Monday night. Excited tayo preparing for these things.
So, picking a time for your relationship habits. So, ito yung time na napili namin na we can go together, no? Kasi busy tayo. So, what could be a specific time na pwede tayong magsama.
Mm.
Okay, pwede tayong magsama mag-asawa. And that is a good signal na merong magandang komunikasyon.
Yes, communication. This is a shared activity with teamwork.
And then, take baby steps.
Okay. Ba yung baby step?
Yung maliit lang. Kasi minsan,
start small.
Yes, do not forget na everything na malaki sa ngayon ay nag-umpisa sa maliit.
In business,
Oo.
dream big.
Dream big ka nga, pero start small.
Okay.
Oo. So, here, on being mindful in your relationship, yung pagsasama natin, kailangan talaga one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Yes, one step at a time.
What palipat-lipat.
Yes. And then, eto tatay yung talagang inaano natin, plan for your obstacles. Ano ba yan? Plan for your obstacles.
Because in life's journey, in marital life's journey, meron talagang obstacles ahead. Meron bumps ahead. Our journey. So, it's better for us to plan ahead. Because we have a foresight what would be the most probable hindrances or obstacles ahead, right? It can be health, it can be finances, it can be work, it can be all about parenting. These are all obstacles.
Ano din, yung obstacle din yung paano na lang kung mapagod ako. Let's say, for example, biking yung napili ninyo. No? Now, we have a relationship habit of walking together in the morning, early morning, or biking together. Pero yung obstacle, feeling so tired. Ano yung gagawin natin na I felt so tired? So, dapat mayroon ka ng plano dito for that particular obstacle. Another one is yung parang a conversation, naging habit nyo na yung conversation ay mapauwi sa argument. O, di ba? Minsan, nag-uusap lang tayo, tumatanda na, di ba? Yung nagtatawa na tayo, mga matatandang ito. Nag-uusap.
Gising sa umaga, yung
very early, rising, and then at the same time, yung conversation na uwi sa isang argument. So, these are some obstacles minsan of being mindful. No? Kasi kailangan talagang be mindful also of the obstacles in the future. Okay. Another obstacle is not able to dedicate time to your relationship.
Yes.
So, plan out, paano na lang kung busy-busy si hubby? Paano na lang kung busy-busy si wifey? Laging may travel si hubby. Laging may business trip. Oo, naiba yung schedule niya. So, plan for your obstacles. Ano yung gagawin natin that kasi yung iba kasi nagkaka-infidelity issue dahil ito yung nangyayari. Laging wala sa bahay si hubby at si wifey lang yung naiwan. Merong brother-in-law na doon sa bahay. Sinasalisi ng brother-in-law, yung parang gano'n. Or si hubby naman, nasa travel, merong na-meet na bago kasi medyo malayo. So, when you become mindful to your relationship habits, talagang pagplanuhan ninyo kung ano yung mga obstacles, yung time together na pwede ninyong ilaan para sa sarili ninyo.
Yes.
And then also, yung parang yung meron tayong minsang mga resentment na mga partners, this can be an obstacle for being mindful.
Because along the way, yung attitude, yung emotion, yung mindset natin ay affected yan sa circumstances, external environment.
So, dapat talaga, you have to plan pati yung obstacles.
Of course, there are instances when we cannot really predict. Like ito yung pandemic. Nobody has the idea of this pandemic. So, most probably, yung planning na to obstacles ahead, ibang nangyari. Iba itong pandemic, right?
So, kaya, meron tayong adjustments.
Yes.
Meron tayong adjustments with respect and be mindful of those adjustments. Tatay, meron ako suggestion with respect to ano kaya yung pwedeng gawin nila na baby step lang. Yung minamasahe mo yung asawa mo, is a baby step. Meron ding
kunti lang
Oo.
ang sa baby talaga.
oo, foot scrub.
Ah.
Foot scrub ka ng
Oo.
hobby mo, di ba?
Mm.
Merong mga ganun eh. Kinikiliti mo yung talampakan ng asawa
Parang
mo.
touch na yun.
Oo.
Physical touch.
So these are some automatic behaviors. Turn off the CP before having lunch or taking the dinner together, di ba? Kasi parang habit na pag kumakain tayo, walang CP talaga, yung attention natin sa pagkain kasi yun yung time na kumakain tayo with the children and it's communication time with them. So, in that case, walang magsi-CP.
And yung having a meal with another has a deeper meaning, right?
Yes. And then, kasi minsan, you really have to do it intentionally. Yung pagmamasahe, talagang yung parang ginagawa mo na talaga with intention kasi hindi pwede na you will just depend on motivation.
Yes.
Motivated ako ngayong magmasahe ako sa'yo. Paano na lang kung walang motivation that day?
Yung motivation mo ay nakadepende sa emotion mo. Yung emotion mo pataas, pababa. So, wala kang fixed time dyan.
Yes. So, very, very, very important na merong mga plano and merong mga gustong gagawin na you really have to take notes. Kaya, maganda ding merong journaling na habit.
Yes. It's important because you can go through it after a few days or weeks and then you will realize, oh, ganun pala to.
And then another tatay na become mindful kasi minsan we are not religious on what we committed to. Nagko-commit tayo. Minsan, ayoko na.
Nakalimutan ko.
Oo. So, it is best na meron kayong accountability partner.
Yeah.
Okay? So, merong nagsasabi sa'yo, let's say you have a close friend and sasabihin mo, I'm losing weight this time. Ito yung commitment ko na nagda-diet ako.
Yes.
Minsan, pag merong mga piyesta, pag merong mga invitation, so, isama mo yung accountability partner mo. Kasi siya yung magpapaalala sa'yo.
Siya yung kakain para sa'yo.
Oo, para siya yung So, isama mo siya para merong mag-remind sa'yo na huy, yung commitment mo na wala na. So, tayo mga Pinoy, ganito tayo eh. So, hindi tayo masyadong serious with respect to our commitment.
Sino ba yung mas effective na accountability partner? Yung spouse o ibang tao?
Of course, yung spouse naman.
Hindi makikinig yan.
Oo. Pero kaya nga minsan, kailangan mentors.
Yeah.
You really need some mentors or friends na alam niya yung commitment mo on doing this stuff. Okay? So, meron din tayong mga apps tatay, yung Chain, at saka yung Coach.me na mga applications, pwede nyo download yan. And you can use it because pwede niyang i-monitor kung ginagawa mo ba talaga yung kino-commit mo sa sarili mo at sa relationship mo na gawin mo.
Para itong control system.
And another siguro tatay na pwedeng mag-build ng relationship habit nila to become more mindful, no? More mindful on what they are going to do in their relationship as husband and wife is reward your milestones. Kasi minsan you can create as mag-asawa, nagbibigay na tayo ng point system, pwede yan, or reward lang na pag ito yung na-achieve natin, pag magka-10 episodes tayo, nagko-commit tayo ng marriage empowerment toast, tapos nagka-10 episodes tayo, kakain tayo sa labas.
Kakain tayo.
Kakain tayo sa labas. Parang,
episode.
So parang, you really have to have a reward system. Sino ba namang hindi kung mayroong rewards? So, let's say for example, you succeeded nung iwanan na niya yung sigarilyo. So, he succeeded. So, in that case, ano yung parang in exchange of that? Ano yung mga pinagagawa natin in exchange? Diba? Meron na tayong healthy living. So, yung reward natin, kumakain tayo sa labas, pero dapat healthy yung food na kakainin natin.
Iba na yung mindset ko.
Oo, nag-iba yung mindset. And tsaka, yung na-save na amount niya, instead of spending it to cigarettes noon, nasi-save namin. So, yun yung binibilhan mo siya ng tea or binibilhan mo siya ng shirt. This comes from my savings sa sigarilyo mo.
Kasi
So, parang
importante
ganun.
yung mindset talaga. Yung
Oo.
nag-iiba yung mindset, na-change yung mindset. Sa akin, guys, yung mindset na yung masarap na pagkain ngayon ay yung healthy food.
Mm-mm.
Pag hindi healthy food, hindi yan masarap sa akin, hindi ko kakain yan. Napaka-strong na disiplina yan. Okay? For a change of mindset. So, nasustain ko yan hanggang ngayon. Pag hindi masarap, not a healthy food, I will never take that food. Never. Okay.
So, meron tatay sa scripture talaga. Meron pala nag-ano sa atin, no? May magtatanong, bakit po kayo nanay? Talagang linagyan ninyo ng scripture eh. Pag-aasawa lang namang pinag-uusapan natin eh. Bakit talagang merong mga biblical scriptures?
Sige, sabihin mo.
Oo. We have to remember na this is a love story. Yung pag-aasawa natin is a love story.
I never expected you will become my wife.
Yes,
and of course,
I also never expected na ikaw rin yung magiging hubby ko, diba?
So, mayroong nangyari. Iba ang, will is the will of another being.
Yes, right? And in fact, mayroon talagang author ng love story natin. Okay. So, we acknowledge the fact na si God, yung author ng love story namin. And because this is a love story of God, written by God, this is a story written by God, and nagiging actors lang tayong mag-asawa sa story ni God. So, for that, we acknowledge. So, tinitingnan talaga natin kung ano yung nasa will ng Panginoon, kung ano yung, paano niya ginagawa, naging mindful din ba yung Panginoon in terms of His relationship to us, and He's creating this particular love story.
Kasi yung sabi pa na nila, yung scripture is the greatest love letter of God to spouses.
Yes.
Kaya tinignan natin yung love letter na yan. Kasi nandun yung lahat na instructions ni God para sa mag-asawa.
Yes.
Right?
So, ang sabi dito, tatay, sa Ephesians 5:15-17, so chapter 5:15 to 17. So, ang sabi nito is, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. So, being mindful is actually understanding God's will in our marriage. Yung talagang nagme-meditate tayo, and in fact, pati si Jesus nagme-meditate siya, yung malapit na siyang sa dakpen, di ba? Yung parang sa crucifixion, malapit na siyang kukunin ng mga sundalo. There was a time na nagme-meditate talaga siya. He was always in a prayer, especially when he was in the mission. Okay? So, when he did his evangelization work, nagme-meditate talaga, nagpre-pray ang Panginoon. And there was this one, stillness, silence, and solitude. Oo, mas malalim yun eh.
Malalim
ikaw na nga sa stillness.
Nandun yan sa malalim na bahagi ng
kaibuturan
ng ocean.
Core,
innermost self. Parang napakalalim wala kang marinig na iba, but the stillness, the sound of silence.
Yes. When you are mindful in your relationship, you start to pray, you start to think, you start to reflect, you start to have some devotionals. Yung parang talagang binigyan mo yan ng oras kasi hindi mo malalaman kung ano yung gagawin mo sa partner mo, lalo na if you are in the crisis mode. Oo, diba?
And besides, you have here this thing, pag mayroon ka ng mindfulness, kasama yung realization na mayroong mga bagay sa married life na hindi talaga beyond your control.
Yes.
That is why papasok yung si meditation. Papasok yun
bakit nangyari to? Bakit nagkasakit yung anak ko? bakit
bakit nag-infidelity kahapon for the past years? Very loyal tong asawa ko.
Oo.
Bakit nagaginto?
So, this is when you become so mindful talaga. And then, being present, tatay, in Jesus' time, He was always there for the apostles. Even yung gospel natin last Sunday na there was a storm, diba? Next Sunday na ata yun, na there will be a storm, mayroong storm, tapos sinabihan ng Diyos na stop, because He was there. Natutulog na siya, but He was there. He was present. So in our relationship, find the presence of God through your mindfulness.
So, pero pag mayroong crisis, ito ang usual na mangyari. Nag-blame. The only instance na yung mukha mo pa noon sa itaas. Why, Lord? Ano bang sagot ng Panginoon doon? Nagka-crisis ka. Bakit ganito, Lord? Para bang blaming yan? Ang sagot ng Panginoon dyan, binigyan kita ng love letter, hindi mo binasa. Nandun lahat. That's why we end up
the scriptures talaga. Kasi nasa love letter ni Jesus kung ano yung gagawin natin, yung mga krisis ng buhay. So, there must be, being mindful is attentive ka at focus. Meron kang attention sa puntong ito and nagfo-focus ka what commitment you have for your partner and what commitment you have for your marriage.
In the scripture you have just read, there is a phrase there, how you live. This is ethics. That's the art of, living your life. But notice there is also the mention of unwise and the wise. So in other words, this is wisdom actually in living a married life. That we must have wisdom. Ano ba yung wisdom na yan? Ano ba yung wisdom na yan? It's more than knowledge. What we are giving to you now is more of, knowledge about these things from the viewpoint of the secular world. You have your psychology, you have all the literature in the world, but what is wisdom? This is our gift to apply knowledge in living our life. That simple knowledge, for instance, of science. We know science tells us your balanced diet is to have go, grow, and glow. That simple knowledge you have, when you apply that to your real life, that's wisdom. And that is most difficult. It's a gift.
Yes.
That is a gift.
Kaya nga, maging mindful ka talaga sa health mo, yung kinakain mo, dahil nandyan na meron ka ng wisdom.
Alam mo na yun, knowledge yan, basic knowledge yan. Right? Knowledge on love, passion, you have intimacy and commitment. Knowledge yan, but when you do the application of these things in your married life, that's a gift. That's wisdom. And that gift has to be asked for.
Yes. So, yun yung papasok si grace, si grasya. Dahil talagang hihingi natin sa Panginoon yung grasya na we can be parang maging consistent tayo sa yung habit na gusto nating gawin sa marriage natin.
Kahit na summa cum laude tayo.
Ang dami.
Hindi natin apply yung knowledge na yan sa real life situation, is still a failure. It will not work. Our marriages will never work. Kahit konti lang knowledge, i-apply mo yan sa ating married life, kahit konti. Pag mayroong grasya, mayroong gift natin yan, ay lalago yan.
Yes.
Okay.
So, let me read again Ephesians 5:15 to 17.
It starts with,
be very careful.
Okay.
Then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise.
Yes.
Making the most of every opportunity.
Do not waste your time.
Because the days are evil.
No, this is very important because we are going to the days of evil, meaning not so good.
Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. So that's a very good reminder to us couples, to us husbands and wives, na hindi lang pala pwedeng wido lang. Kung ano yung gusto natin, feel ko to, ito yung gagawin ko. Hindi pala. We have to be intentional. We have to be committed. We have to be purposeful.
Yes.
And what else? We have to take time.
This is knowledge of the world, but beyond that, there is that very, great knowledge known as applying this knowledge to everyday life. We call it wisdom.
Yes. So sana maraming mga couples na nag-pay attention, no?
Oh!
So, eto lang simple lang paying attention. Kasi ang daming mga nangyayari sa environment na we can no longer focus, we can no longer pay attention to our wives, to our hobbies, to our children, to our family, to our relationship.
Yes.
And that makes everything palpak, magiging palpak siya. And ang maganda dito sa marriage empowerment toast natin, talagang pinaalalahanan tayo,
Yes.
no? So we are always reminded na pwede palang gawin, kaya natin to. So we become accountable to each other.
We are giving bits of knowledge and then reminded to apply this knowledge. Because that's wisdom actually.
Okay. So, Tatay, I think we are done with the morning session. And do you still have your last words?
Well, being mindful, finally, being mindful, Jet, is actually being mindful as to the components of love. Being mindful of your energies, that's passion. That your energies in married life must be focused on relationship, right? Energies, sexual energy, sensual energies, focus on marriage, there will be no problem with it. Your marriage will be founded on a great passion, energies being combined together, and then being mindful also of your intimacy. When your passion is great, then that will be cultivating a great relationship that will provide warmth of our relationship. And if these two, you have your passion and your intimacy very strong, then this will end up in a great commitment. And you will end up in love, a great love in marriage. And that is where and when we can say our marriage is being empowered.
Okay. So, once again, mga katribo, inimbita ko kayo na mag-download sa ebook natin, Rescue Your Marriage Before It Starts to Crumble. And then, also, we are inviting you to join us as a METU member, as a founding METU member. And then, you can just go to gjetelnar.com/ and then membership-2P. So, ito yung kung saan pwede kayong mag-register as a founding member ng METU membership. And you can find a lot of blessings, 7 blessings pag nagiging METU member po kayo. So, again, thank you for being with us this morning. And Tatay, we may always end up our morning with this. A great marriage starts with a solid foundation. So, good morning once again, everyone, mga kalibo. Next Tuesday, 9 o'clock a.m. Good morning. God bless.
Bye, everyone.